Trojans trying to get to a regional final for the first time in school history. Same for Shippensburg. And the tap controlled by Kellum for the Raiders. Shippensburg gets the first possession. Connor with the ball between the rings. Slava away from the basket. Kellum up top for Connor. Costello in the right corner. Back up top. Connor between the rings. 17 on the shot clock. Trojans playing man defense. Slava, a deep three off the iron, no good. And Trey Brown with the rebound. Wayman Wright dribbles into the front court down the left side. Walter Williams. Right side, Ciante Melvin, played by Kellum into Granberry. A foul away from the ball on Trey Brown. So the Trojans don't get a shot. Brown's first personal first team, and VSU turns it over. 34 seconds into the first half. We are scoreless as Clay Connor trots the ball into the front court. Picked up by Wright. McCarthur, he's guarded by Melvin. McCarthur off the screen, gets to Slava, pick and roll, and he dunks. Dustin Slava with the jam off the pick and roll, 2-0. Shippensburg. Melvin right side beyond the arc. Up top, Williams. Wayman Wright, top of the key. It's a matchup zone for Shippensburg. Melvin, Wright, pull up left side, 15-footer off glass and iron, no good. Kellum comes down with a rebound. Far sideline, dribbles into the front court, picked up there by Trey Brown. Kicks it out to Slava, playing away from the bucket. To Connor up top. Connor off a double screen. Feeds McCarthur at the foul line. Steps back, gives to Slava. Into Costello, posted up. Backs in on Williams. Turns baseline, shovels one up with the left hand, no good. Deflected rebound, Trey Brown. He pushes into the front court. Brown pulls up right side, swings it out to Williams around to right. Left side, Ciante Melvin. Up top, Walter Williams. Around to right, guarded by Connor. Granberry up top, guarded by Slava. Hands to Brown, now looks like a man from Shippensburg. Granberry left baseline jumper from 10, short. Slava, the one-bounce rebound. 2-0 Shippensburg, 2 minutes gone in the first half. Clay Connor dribbles into the front court. Up top, Slava, left side, Kellum. Kellum holds, now gives to Slava, posted up on Granberry. Slava backs it in, turns again. Good defense from Granberry, jump hook is good. Wow. That's a tough shot by Slava. Granberry couldn't have done a whole bunch more. Left side, Brown for three, bingo. Trey Brown hits a triple. For some reason, the net to our left continues to get bunched up on the rims. The officials had to stop the clock momentarily. Happened twice in the first game and a whole bunch in warm-ups. Now a 4-3 Shippensburg lead. Trojans show a little midcourt trap. Raiders handle it. They were brilliant against the press last night. And Connor dribbles between the circles. The Trojan crowd in the game early. McCarthur to the top of the key. Bounce pass inside Slava, knocked away by Williams. Steal by Melvin, who wound up sitting on Slava, and Slava gets in with a foul. His first, team's first. Trojans will inbound in backcourt. 4-3 Shippensburg, 17-11 remaining in the first half. Wayman Wright trots the dribble into the front court. Wright working near the far sideline. Off a Granberry screen, right elbow jumper, rolls off, no good. A strong rebound by Slava. Connor into the front court. Dribbling right side, gives to Kellum beyond the arc. Kellum off a screen, stops and pops for three, and he buries it. Antonio Kellum's first basket, 7-3 Shippensburg. Melvin up top, Williams. Hands the ball to Wayman Wright. He dribbles between the circles. Right side, Trey Brown, stop and pop three. Front iron, no good. Bouncing rebound. Connor got a hand on it, and he was fouled. And the foul is on Richard Granberry. That's not a foul the Trojans want Granberry taking. First personal, second team. Shippensburg with the rock up 7-3, 16:27 remaining in the first half. Clay Connor dribbles across the timeline. Gives to Slava away from the bucket underneath for Kellum, who lays it up and in. That's a good cut by Kellum. Nice look by Slava. Kellum has 5, 9-3 Shippensburg. Wayman Wright between the rings. Dribbles off a Granberry screen. Gives to Williams up top. Left side, Ciante Melvin. He starts to drive on Kellum. Melvin got to the rack, but his way up is no good. And rebound grabbed by Slava for Shippensburg. Connor into the front court. Driving baseline right. Connor cut off by Granberry. Out to Slava. Ball fakes a three, then was fouled by Melvin, who got off balance and knocked him down. Raiders have the ball out of the timeout. Connor will inbound. James Smith in the game for VSU. Left corner three. McCarthur buries it. Picking up right where he left off last night. Shippensburg has a 12-3 lead. They set a school record for threes for the season by burying a bunch here last night. Williams, right corner, Trey Brown. He starts to drive. Kicks it around for Melvin. He backs away with a dribble, then threw it behind Brown. This will be a turnover over a back violation. Trojans struggling to find their rhythm early. This looks a lot more like what we saw in Charlotte than what we saw last night. Brandon Holly going to pop into the VSU lineup. And Melvin will go to the bench. Holly will get some stern defensive challenges here. Connor inbounds to Slava. Back to Connor between the rings. Shippensburg up 12-3 with the Rock. 15-20 remaining in the first quarter. Foul away from the ball. That's on Trey Brown, and that is his second. Well, he blown up very happy about that one. Trojan bench may have to contribute earlier and more vigorously than they did last night. Deontay Melvin's going to pop right back in the game and replace Trey Brown. It's still Kellum, Slava, Connor, McCarthur, and Costello on the floor for Shippensburg, their original starters. McCarthur between the rings. Right side, Kellum. Off a screen from Costello. Into Slava, posted up on Granberry. Slava jump hook good. He's fired up. He has 6, and it's 14-3 Shippensburg. 5 minutes gone in the first half. Melvin holds the ball, now starts to drive. Got to the baseline, cut off. Feeds Williams. He's guarded by Costello. Williams pops a three. That's an air ball. And Granberry goes down hard trying to get around McCarthur, who set a good box out. It's out of bounds to Shippensburg. Now Andrew Corum in the game for Walter Williams. I think we'll see Phillip Owens a little earlier than we did last night. He's sitting next to the coaches now. Connor between the rings. 14-3 Shippensburg. McCarthur top of the key. Out to Slava playing away from the bucket. Back to McCarthur. 13 on the shot clock. McCarthur off a Slava pick. Lost the ball. And that's stolen by Holly. Walter Wayman Wright lobs it into a posting Granberry. Backs it on Slava. Granberry turns. Jump hook it off the glass. Good post move from Granberry. That's his first basket. 14-5. And that ends about a 10-0 Shippensburg rolling left side three. Slava rolls off, no good. Deflected rebound. Wayman Wright. He's into the front court. Right left elbow. Kicks it off for Holly. Catch and shoot. Three! Rolls out. He drew the foul. Fouls on Kellum, his first. Second team. And Brandon Holly's going to shoot three. These will be Holly's first free throws since before his injury in the opening game in January at Barton. He last shot free throw late against Wheeling Jesuit back in mid-December. We'll say hopefully he's practiced because he was struggling early. That's just his 11th attempt of the year. He was 3 of 10. He hits his first here. First of 3, now 14-6. Second shot's good. Shippensburg had ripped off a 9-0 run after that 3 by Trey Brown. And now the Trojans trying to chip back. Holly has 1 shot remaining. And he drains that. Evidently he spent his convalescence working on his foul shooting. Now he's up near 50%, 14-8. Shippensburg in front, 13:45 remaining in the first half. Kellum, right side 3. Back iron, no good. Costello got a hand on the rebound, but it's grabbed by Wayman Wright. Up the floor, Holly stops, pops a 3. That spins out, and Slaver rebounds. Holly not getting the roll here early. Connor into the front court. To McCarthur, dribbled it off his foot out of bounds. Trojans catch a break there, unforced turnover. Now we'll see James Smith in for Wayman Wright. And Daquan Council is into the game for McCarthur for Shippensburg. Council, sophomore out of Blackwood, New Jersey, averages 3 a game. Smith, the freshman, out of South Boston, Halifax County High School, for those following from Pennsylvania, to South Boston and Virginia. Left baseline jumper, Granberry off the iron, no good. Slava comes down with a rebound. 14-8, Raiders in front, 13:08 remaining in the first half. Connor into the front court. Right side, Kellum. Bobbing into Slava. He's posted up on Granberry. Back out to Costello for 3. Front iron, no good. Tip, no good. Rebound loose. Council got a crack at that tip. Couldn't get it to go. And the rebound wound up on the deck, and it's pried off the floor by Ciante Melvin for Virginia State. Over Melvin's pass deflected away by Kellum. Recovered by Smith. Rifled a bullet through the hands of Granberry out of bounds. And if VSU baseball coach Merrill Morgan finds out about Smith throwing a basketball about 95 miles an hour right there, he may be busy this spring. Now Philip Owens in for VSU. Ciante Melvin going to go to the bench. Owens, junior out of Virginia Beach, has had some moments as a streak scorer, but he didn't play much last night. Clay Connor into the front court. Right side, Council to the top of the key, stops, feeds Connor left side. He drives, Connor cut off, swings it out to Costello, to Connor for a deep 3, and he buried it. Clay Connor's first basket, 17-8. Shippensburg in front. Manny Spann came into the game replacing Slava on that last whistle. Granberry posted up, gets to the left and scores on Spann. Granberry finishes the bank shot. He has 4, 17-10 Shippensburg. Connor into the front court, right side, Council. Off the screen from Spann. Swinging around for a left corner 3, buried by Antonio Kellum. Kellum's second 3, he has 8. 20-10, Shippensburg their largest lead. Owens with the ball left side beyond the arc. Into Granberry, posted up out Granberry. Offensive foul, he put his arm out and Spann went flying. Granberry's second, team's 5th. Then we have a timeout on the floor. Slava, one was kind of a silly loose ball foul, and the other an offensive foul. Now William Better, the freshman out of D.C. Coolidge High School, into the Trojan lineup, replacing Granberry. Slava is back in for Shippensburg. Raiders with the rock. Slava between the circles, hands to McCarthur, so he's back in now. McCarthur down the lane, out to Slava, into the paint, pops a jumper over Better, front iron, no good. Corum tipped the rebound, and James Smith comes up with a loose ball for VSU. He pushes hard to the front court, zipped the pass, deflected, and recovered by Vetter. Out to Andrew Corum. Owens around to Smith. Trojans have an all-sub lineup on the floor now. Owens left side, 12 shot clock. Into Holly, turnaround fadeaway, baseline jumper, no good. Smith hit no good. Smith kept the rebound alive. Corum misses a jump hook, and Slava clears for the Raiders. Trojans had good looks there. Kellum bounce pass into Slava. Backs in on Vetter and commits an offensive foul. Great job by Vetter. That's Slava's second. Third team foul. Walter Williams back in. Trey Brown returns for VSU. Holly and Corum head to the bench. Smith into the front court. Right side Owens, up top Williams. Left side Smith. Dribbles to the top of the key. Feeds Vetter away from the bucket. The Brown starts to drive. Out to Smith. The ball fakes, then backs away. Left side Owens, deep 3 off the iron, no good. Rebound grab by McCarthur. Pushing into the front court for Shippensburg. They lead by 10. Out to Council. He drives. Got to the rack. Layup no good, but he's fouled from behind by Owens and will shoot 2 free throws. Owens first, 6th team. Scoreboard has Slava with 1 foul. Actually, Costello has one and Slava only has one. Council shooting two. His first is no good. Shippensburg doesn't miss many from the foul line. Jake Bliss had some nice moments in the second half last night. Freshman out of Latrobe, Pennsylvania. Replacing Connor. He'll run the point for a bit. 10:02 remaining in the first half. 20-10. Shippensburg in front. Second shot is good. So 1 out of 2 for Council has his first point. And now Costello back in. And Manny Spann returns to the Raider bench. Trojans down 11. Smith dribbling right side beyond the arc. Feeds Trey Brown out front. He drives down the lane, trying to dish pass off inside, stolen by Slava. McCarthur up the floor. Right side, Council, deep three off the iron, no good. Bliss got a hand on the rebound. It's loose. And Costello comes up with it for Shippensburg. Out to Bliss between the rings. Shippensburg, 11-point lead equals their largest. Bliss in the right corner. Off a screen from Costello. Gives to Costello. Driving baseline right to the rack. Missed the runner and the rebound. Grabbed by Smith for VSU. He's into the front court. James Smith weaving into the paint. Such a great pass underneath for Vetter. Muscles up a shot and scores. William Vetter cuts the Shippensburg lead at 21-12. Jake Bliss into the front court. Right side, McCarthur trying to work off a screen. McCarthur weaving down the lane, dribbles the ball off his thigh out of bounds. That's good help defense from Vetter. And the Trojans force a turnover. Shippensburg has led almost the entire half. One brief time. Trojans have not enjoyed a lead yet. They have some work to do to even think about that right now. Smith left side beyond the arc. Up top, Brown. Phillip Owens, right side, three-point country off a Williams screen. Gives to Williams. He drives on Costello. Got to the rack. He's fouled. It counts. First bucket for Williams. Costello's second foul. Team's fourth. 21-14 Shippensburg with 8:29 remaining. And now Manny Spann, junior out of Altoona, back in the game. And he'll replace Costello. Slava, a dominant big man, but nobody else after him. He is, by 3 inches, the tallest player on the roster. Walter Williams for the and one, and it rolls in. 3 for Williams. 21-15 at Shippensburg. 8:25 to play in the first half. VSU fans getting back in it now. McCarthur top of the key. Slava posted up, jump hook with the right hand is good. This is going to be an education for Vetter. Slava has 8. 23-15 Shippensburg. Brown left side beyond the arc. Drives baseline, got to the rack, layup no good, but he's fouled by McCarthur. He was not overly enthusiastic about the call. First personal, 5th team. Trey Brown will chuck 2. Antonio Kellum getting set to return for Shippensburg. Keontae Melvin will pop back in here for Virginia State momentarily. Brown's first is good. 4 points for Trey Brown, 74% foul shooter. Kellum in. Naquan Council goes out. He's a D1 transfer, spent some time at Manhattan. 23-16, Shippensburg in front. Second shot good. Brown strokes a pair, and his reward a trip to the bench is Keontae Melvin pops back into the VSU lineup. 2 teams that have been in the round of 32. Shippensburg last year, VSU 2 years ago. Neither school has ever played in a regional final. Kellum left side beyond the arc. Picks up his dribble. Feeds Bliss out front. Left side Slava starts to drive. Top of the key, Kellum. And he's fouled on a reach-in by James Smith. Smith. And we are back at the MPC. I'm John Emmett. Shippensburg 23, VSU 17. Antonio Kellum shooting free throws, and he hits his first. Kellum now with 9 points. And Shippensburg pushing the lead back to 7. Story simple in this one. Raiders better at putting the rock through the rim. Second shot falls off no good, and Walter Williams clears. VSU just 5 of 17 from the floor for 29%. Owens with the ball between the circles. Left side, Smith beyond the arc. Vetter steps out to set a screen. Left elbow jumper spins out no good by Smith, and the rebound cleared off by Kellum for the Raiders. Raiders put up 98 here last night. Everybody buzzing about the offense, but a pretty good defensively. Slave, a great look inside for Kellum, who scores off the glass. And Antonio Kellum already 11 points. 26-17, Shippensburg in front. Walter Williams between the circles. Left side, James Smith. Smith backing in. Kicks it out for an open three by Vetter. Front iron, no good. Slave with a one-bounce rebound. Play Connor, who came back in for Bliss at that last time out with the ball left sideline. McCarthur up top, Slava. Ball fake, starts to drive off a span screen and then kicks it back out to Connor between the rings. Connor off the double screen. Picks up his dribble. Shot clock down to 8. 3 left side. McCarthur no good. It's Deontay Melvin flying out for the long rebound. Gives to James Smith between the rings. VSU gets into a half-court offense down by 9 with 6:22 remaining in the first half. Smith beyond the arc. Up top, Melvin. Right side, Owens. Vetter steps out to set a screen. Gets the ball in the pick and roll and hits a running hook shot. William Vetter from Smith. Vetter with 4. 26-19. Shippensburg in front. Connor into the front court. Connor driving on Smith. Got space. Pops a jumper and hits it. Trojans insisting he pushed off. The officials say no. Connor has 5. 28-19. Raiders in front. Vetter top of the key. Left side, Owens. Out to Smith beyond the arc. He drives down the lane. Lines up on the deck. Lost the ball out of bounds, and VSU gets to keep it. That's interesting. Either he was fouled, or it's out of bounds to Shippensburg. Let's see that ball hit a Raider on the way out. VSU probably got a break right there. They'll get some starters back in the game. Wayman Wright's back out there. Holly has returned, not a starter, but had played earlier. Right, left side, Melvin. He drives baseline. Melvin to the rack. Layup good off the glass. Melvin going right at the big man. His first basket. 28-21, the Raiders in front. 5.5 left in the opening 20. Connor between the circles. Right side, Kellum beyond the arc. Connor. Into Slava. Jump hook with the right hand. Back iron, no good. And Vetter comes down with the rebound for Virginia State. Wayman right into the front court. Right yo-yos. Feeds Melvin. Up top, Vetter. Holds over his head. Gives back to Wright. Off the screen from Vetter. Baseline right, Corum. Driving into the paint. Corum turns and kicks it back out to Melvin. Good defense from Shippensburg in the paint right now. Right side, Melvin. 3 rolls off, no good. And the rebound cleared off by McCarthur. Raiders with the ball at a 7-point lead. 4:45 remaining in the first half. Play Connor between the rings. Picks it off left side. Kellum back to Connor. Right side McCarthur. Right baseline Span. Swinging around left side Kellum. The Connor 8 shot clock. McCarthur driving. Dished it off and threw it away looking for Span. But it hit. I think Corum on the way out of bounds. Raiders keep the possession. Shot clock has dwindled to 7. Walter Williams going to hustle back in here for VSU and replace William Vetter. This is about as small as VSU will go. Inbound to Kellum. Jumper out of the right corner off the iron. No good. Melvin up in the rafters for the rebound. Trojans can make this a 2-possession game for the first time in a while. Right top of the key. Around to Melvin. Into Corum. Posted up on Span. Corum backs in. He's Melvin underneath. He lays it up and in. Great look by Corum. Melvin has 4. 28-23. Raiders with the ball in the lead as the clock rolls inside. 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Connor between the rings. Right side Kellum. Trojans showing zone. Connor. Right corner McCarthur for 3. Buries it. Second triple for McCarthur. 31-23. Now we get a timeout. After the unusual media timeout after a made basket, ball got loose coming out of the cylinder. So the Trojans didn't get a chance for a clean inbound, and the officials decided to take the last media time out of the half. Wayman Wright with the ball right side beyond the arc. Loosely guarded by Connor. Up top for Holly. Melvin in the paint. Pops a leader in traffic. Back iron it in. Nice roll from Melvin. He has 6. 31-25 Shippensburg. Raiders about a couple of 11-point leads. Trojans now playing 2-3 zone. They are primarily a man team philosophically. Connor between the rings. Kellum. Left side McCarthur busts that 3 out of the corner over Williams. Off the iron, no good. Span the offensive rebound. Out to Connor. He jacks up a 3. That's off the iron, no good. And Melvin comes away with a rebound for VSU. He's into the front court. Right side, Holly. Holly guarded by McCarthur. Into Williams right baseline against Span. Williams up top. Coleman for 3. That's a brick. And the rebound grabbed by Span. 2:44 remaining in the half. Shippensburg up 31-25. And the Raiders have the ball. Connor between the rings. Right side pass stolen by Ciante. Melvin into the front court. He dunks it. Connor tried to foul him in midcourt and prevent the easy run out. Melvin ran right through it. I think the officials kind of played advantage right there. And now it's a 4-point game. And the MPC crowd really in the play now. 31-27. Slava posted up on corner. That's going to be a tough matchup. Slava turns, back to the rack, and lays it in off the back iron. Yikes. Now the officials stop the clock. There's a towel on the floor. It apparently came from the Shippensburg bench, and the official's going to have a conversation about it. Slava is just dominant in the post. There's some decent post players in the CIAA. VSU has a pretty good one right here, but Slava, horse strong, great touch. Seems to thrive and make plays when the game gets its most competitive. William Vetter in for Andrew Corum. Tough guard for Corum if he's playing the 5, which he doesn't normally do, and he was the 5 in that rotation. 33-27, Shippensburg in front. Clock rolls inside, 2 to play. Wayman Wright dribbles left side beyond the arc. Up top, Ciante Melvin. Gives to Brandon Holly. Guarded by McCarthur. Shippensburg playing man. Vetter against Slava. Left side, Wayman Wright. Wright between the legs, dribble, step back, foul line jumper, rolls off, no good. Slava the rebound. Rebounding foul against Virginia State. And it's Ciante Melvin, his second. Team's 8. Loose ball foul, so down to the other end. And free throws for Shippensburg. Antonio Kellum. 33-27, minute 39 to go in the half. Kellum hits his first. Like all the Shippensburg regulars, he shoots the eyes out at the free throw line. 84%. His second is good. So Kellum knocks down a pair. 13 first half points. 35-27 Raiders in front. Williams between the rings. Left side Melvin. Up top Holly. Catch and shoot 3. That's off the iron. No good. Williams the offensive rebound. He's fouled on the floor. Trojan bench thought Holly was fouled. That foul on Span, first personal, 6th team. Trojans will inbound on the baseline. Inbound to Vetter. Out to Wayman Wright. Wright holding, now gives to Williams. Free throw line, rising for a jumper over Span. He gets it. Walter Williams has 5. 35-29 VSU. Trailing Shippensburg with a minute 10 remaining in the first half. Connor looks back at Chris Fight on the Shippensburg bench. Slava hands the ball to Kellum. He's the hot hand right now. Out to Connor. Left side McCarthur off a Span screen. The Slava away from the bucket. Guarded by Vetter. 9 on the shot clock. Ball knocked away by Holly. Slava recovers. Pulls his way to the basket. Muscles up a shot. Scores. And then tells the Trojan bench he muscled up a shot and scored. 37-29. Vetter thought about the pull-up three. Feeds Williams. Up top, Vetter. Ball fakes, drives, swings it out to right. 34 seconds until halftime. Williams left side, rising for a tough rainbow jumper, in and out, no good. Slava another rebound. Shippensburg up 37-29, and they can hold for the final shot of the first half. And that is exactly what Chris Fight wants from his team as Connor walks the ball across the line. Connor going to dribble some clock away here. It's down to 11. Connor still out near midcourt, guarded by Wayman Wright. Clock's at 7. Connor goes to work. Clock's at 5. Connor left corner for a three by Slava, no good. Rebound grabbed by Vetter, and we have reached halftime. State has the basketball to start the second half. They will attack the basketball to our right. Ciante Melvin will trigger the inbound. Second half underway. Wayman Wright dribbles across the timeline. Right between the rings. Out to Walter Williams in three-point country. Snaps it inside Granberry. He's cut off by Slava. Granberry to the rack. Layup no good, but he's fouled and curled off the front iron. Foul on Kellum playing help defense. His second, first team. Richard Granberry will shoot two. I think Chris Fight wanted an offensive foul there. Granberry with some creative use of his off arm to get around Slava. First free throw is good. 5 points for Granberry, whose foul shooting has been everywhere this season. At one point it was in the 70s. Dwindled to the mid-50s. He knocks down two here. His second shot is good. And VSU back to within 6. 37-31. At Regis, UT Permian Basin is tied now. Third overtime. 116. Alley-oop. And Kellum lays it in. McCarthur, the alley-oop pass to Kellum coming from his right. And Kellum had the elevation to slam it. Just kind of gently laid it in. Granberry posted up on Slava. Driving baseline, lost the ball. Bunner fingers it out of bounds. Trojans turn it over as Shippensburg opening their second half account with an effort at getting one on the highlight reel, and they're up 39-31. Kellum between the rings. Right side, McCarthur. He drives down the lane, swings it out to Connor. Up top, Kellum. High post, Slava. Lob it into Costello, who's wide open for a moment. Now Slava up top for Connor. 10 on the shot clock. Connor guarded by Brown. Connor driving down the lane. Left corner three. Kellum off the iron, no good. Slava the offensive rebound. His stick back doesn't fall. Rebound yanked down by Costello for a three by Connor off the iron, no good. Brown finally clears for VSU. Brown into the front court. Up top, Walter Williams. Left side, Wayman Wright. Wright backing in. Cut off, looking for help. Finds Granberry left corner. He backs away with a dribble to Brown. 14 on the shot clock. VSU down 39-31. 90 seconds gone, second half. Brown off the screen. Double. Looking for help. Granberry, 17-footer straight away. Front iron, no good. Slava comes down with another rebound. That should be a double-double now. Unofficially 10 boards for Slava. And an opportunity here for the Raiders to push the lead back to double digits. Costello swings it up top for McCarthur. Right side, Costello. Into Slava, posted up, backs in on Granberry. His shot was partially blocked. He was fouled by Walter Williams coming over on help defense. Williams first, teams first. And Slava, he can dish it out, but he can really take it as well. He was fouled hard right there. He'll shoot 2 free throws. His first is good. Amongst his considerable virtues, 82% free throw shooter. Now 11 points. And he hits his second. So Slava now a dozen. And Shippensburg pushes the lead back to 10. 41-31. 17:52 to play. Wayman Wright off a Granberry screen. Backs away between the circles. Left side, Walter Williams. Ball fake. Starts to drive. Feeds right. Into Granberry. Snaps a backdoor pass, deflected away. Williams goes to the deck. It's a held ball as he was tied up by Costello, and the arrow points to Shippensburg. So VSU turns that one over. Permian Basin now, final minute of the third overtime. has grabbed a 122-118 lead over Regis of Colorado. Costello away from the basket up top. Kellum, right side McCarthur. He fights around a screen. Kicks it off in the corner for Costello. Left side Connor. Backs it away to Kellum between the rings. Oh, they had a big mismatch. Now they see Slava, but by the time they do, Granberry gets over and comes up with a steal. Slava was posted up on Ciante Melvin for a moment there. Right with the ball between the circles. Trojans down 10 with the rock. 3 minutes gone, second half. Melvin left side, guarded by McCarthur. Into Walter Williams' reverse layup is an air ball. Connor up for the rebound. Winds up on the deck and drew a foul from Williams. Williams second, team second. And Shippensburg here, a chance to grab their largest lead of the game. Connor into the front court. Hands the ball to McCarthur, left side three, and he buries it. Justin McCarther's third three. Lonnie Blow wants timeout. Ship gone from the NC2A postseason. Disappointing first-round exit for Morehouse last night after a magnificent regular season. Out of the timeout, Wayman Wright into the front court. Trojans need a good possession here. Wright dribbling left side beyond the arc, guarded by Connor. Up top, Melvin. He's played by Kellum. Trey Brown, guarded by McCarthur. Brown left side off a Granberry screen. Gives to Granberry, pick and roll to the rack, and he dunks it. An excellent possession. Granberry with 8. 44-33, Shippensburg. Slava between the rings. Hands the ball to Kellum. Little spacing issue. Kellum straightens it out to Costello. To Connor between the circles. Right side McCarthur drives baseline on Williams, got to the rack and draws a foul. Shot came up a little short, but Williams quickly in foul trouble. That's his third. Team's fourth. Shooting 2 free throws. Walter Williams still out there with 3 fouls. Trojans still with their second half starting 5. Shippensburg with the same group on the floor as well. First free throw good for McCarthur. He now has 10 points. McCarthur, Costello, Connor, Slava, and Kellum on the floor for the Raiders. Second shot is good. McCarthur knocks down 2 from the stripe. Raiders have equaled their largest lead. 46-33. Wright out to Walter Williams. Passed up a 3. Starts to drive. Cut off by Costello. Back out to Brown. Guarded by McCarthur right side beyond the arc. Brown driving. Left elbow Granberry. Hands it back to Brown. He starts to drive. Feeds Granberry inside. Reverse layup. Good. 10 now for Granberry. 46-35. But the Trojans defense has carried them all year. They need it now. Slava top of the key. Great pass inside. Kellum shot blocked by Melvin. Williams came up with a loose ball. Right into the front court. Right corner Melvin. Up top Wayman Wright. Left side Trey Brown. Williams starts to drive. Baseline left. Kicks it back to Brown. Out to Melvin. He directs traffic. 12 on the shot clock. Granberry posted up on Slava. Starts to drive. Bump the foul. That's 2 on Slava. Second team. BSU inbound on the baseline. Brandon Holly in. Ciante Melvin departs the Trojan lineup. Walter Williams triggers the inbound to Granberry. Out to Wayman Wright near the left sideline. Williams, left baseline Granberry, drives on Slava, stumbles, almost lost the ball, then threw it away. Steal by McCarthur, behind the back dribble, goes all the way to the rack, had contact, no whistle. Tip missed by Costello, missed by Kellum, and the rebound grabbed by Granberry. Shippensburg missed an absolute bunny trying to draw a foul. Right corner 3 for Holly is in and out, no good. He can't find one tonight. And a rebounding foul against Shippensburg. Trojans catching breaks on both ends. McCarthy's second, third team. Holly's got a rotational issue. He's had 4 threes spinning and out. Holly will trigger the inbound. Gets it into Wayman Wright in the corner. Backs away with the dribble to the top of the key. Out to Trey Brown. Trojans still down 11. Brown cranks up a 3. Front iron, no good. Slava comes down with a rebound. Raiders up 11 with the rock, 14-15 to go. Connor into the front court. Left side McCarthur. Into Slava, posted up. Going to back in on Granberry. Now double by Williams. Jump hook with the right hand is good. Slava with 14. Shippensburg up 13. 6 minutes gone, second half. Trey Brown into Granberry. Backs in on Slava. And Granberry knocked to the floor. Who's the foul on? Connor was coming over on help defense. Connor picks up the foul. Connor's first, fourth team. James Smith in. Wayman Wright out for Virginia State. And now Vetter in. And Granberry going to grab a rest here. Inbound to James Smith. He starts to drive. Smith got to the rack and scores a level off the glass. First basket for Smith. The freshman cuts the Raider lead to 48-37. 13:42 to play. Connor takes a dribble towards Chris Fight for a little inspiration. Gives the ball right side McCarthur. Out to Slaver. Cranks up a right side three. Rolls off. No good. Costello the offensive rebound. His pass deflected out of bounds beyond the baseline by Trey Brown, and Raiders retain possession. One thing Slava hasn't been able to do tonight is hit the long jumper. Connor, inbound Kellum, out to McCarthur, Slaving in deep, reverse layup, no good, but he's fouled by Vetter, he'll shoot two. Vetter's first, team foul number 5. Justin Slava back to the free throw line. The last sheet still has him with 9 rebounds. Unofficially, we're looking more like it a dozen. First shot good. That's John Costello on the free throw line. And his second shot is good. So Costello knocks down 2 from the stripe. 50-37. The Shippensburg advantage, equaling their largest lead of the game. Holly, up top Trey Brown for 3. Back iron, no good. Connor tipped the rebound off Vetter, and apparently Slava, and Virginia State gets to keep it. Trojans will inbound on the baseline. Walter Williams will trigger. Gets it into Vetter, up top for Smith. Smith backs the dribble away. Gives to Williams. Left side Trey Brown. He drives baseline. Reverse layup is short. And the rebound grabbed by Kellum. Trojans still really struggling from beyond the three-point line. 1 for 9 now. And Shippensburg with a 50-37 lead. McCarthur takes a pull-up right side 3 over Holly, and he hammers it. McCarthur not as active last night, but still doing damage, 14 points. Smith's pass tipped away, stolen by McCarthur. And Shippensburg with the ball in a 16-point lead. Connor with the ball between the circles. Shippensburg will take a little bit of the air out here. Trojans going to rush subs back in. McCarthur driving into the paint. Takes a running hook and scores. 16 now for McCarthur. Suddenly he is game high for Shippensburg, and they've blown the game open. 18-point Raider lead. Williams posted up on Costello. Backs in. Swings it out to Vetter. He kicks it back out to Brown. Trey Brown driving down the lane. Slips it off inside for Smith in traffic. Ball knocked away and stolen by Costello. Kellum up the floor. Out to Connor, and again Shippensburg will spread it out some, up by 18 with 11:45 to go. Kellum between the rings. McCarthur lobs an alley-oop for Kellum and lays it in. That's a tremendous finish by Kellum. A tough pass. VSU calls timeout. Suddenly, Shippensburg has blown the game completely open. 11:36 to go. Pete Regis, 130-124 in 4 overtimes. They played an extra half of basketball tonight. Out of the timeout, Trojans with the ball. Wayman Wright to Walter Williams. Starters back out there now with the exception of Holly. Holly has the ball top of the key. Catch and shoot 3. Off the back iron, no good. Rebound grabbed by Slava. Now he officially has his double-double. Connor walks it up the floor. Slava between the rings. Gives to Kellum. Shadowed by Holly. Connor. Back to Kellum. Into Slava. Backing in on Granberry. Slava turns and travels. That was good defense by Granberry. Slava now officially 14 points, 12 rebounds. Kellum a game high 17. McCarthur 16. Shippensburg shooting 54% in the second half. They shot 71% second half last night. Melvin up top, Granberry, left side right. Trojans down 20. Left side jumper by Wayman Wright, no good. Slava comes down with a rebound. And VSU now 3 of 10 from the floor in the second half. Connor into the front court. Right side, McCarthur off a Slava screen. Fires up that crazy like three and he hits it. And now McCarthur on fire again. Somebody wants to be regional MVP. He has 19, 60, 37. Williams between the circles. Left side, Wayman Wright. Top of the key, Richard Granberry. Backs away with a dribble to Brandon Holly. Holly jacks up a contested three, rolls off, no good. And Kellum comes down with a rebound. It was not Holly's night. I think Lonnie Boyd just acknowledged that now. And he's going to get Daniel Rahama some minutes here. And McCarthur with the ball between the circles, fouled by Ciante Melvin. Melvin's third, sixth team. Corum and Rahama for the first time tonight in for Williams and Holly. Rahama, freshman, who was born in the Sudan, played at Warwick High School in the Hampton Roads area last season. McCarthur with the ball left side beyond the arc. He took the game over in the second half last night. Pops the top of the key jumper and hits it just inside the arc. And here goes McCarthur again. Trojans have no answers. Ronnie Blow calls it 30, but not a whole lot to discuss now. 2 nights in a row. Shippensburg this break. In the 13-3 CIAA record. Best in the conference, second straight year. Actually, no team in the CIAA over the last 3 years has won more games than VSU. Trojans with the ball out of the timeout. Wayman Wright off a screen from Granberry out to Corum. See if we can get him going. Corum played really well first half of the season. Driving the bucket by Melvin. Layup no good. He landed hard. He drew a foul and he's slow to get up. McCarthur will foul his third. Melvin plays a high-risk, high-reward game. At 6'3", an explosive leaper, and not afraid to attack the basket, and he's had some collisions with the hardwood this season. He's back up and trying to put himself back together again to shoot his free throws. Shippensburg up 25. It was a 6-point game about 5 minutes ago. Melvin hits the first of his 2. Naquan Council in. McCarthur goes out to applause from the Shippensburg fans who are paying attention. 21 points, 15 in the second half in about 7 minutes. Second shot good by Melvin. He's in double figures, 62-39. The Shippensburg lead. The last time the Trojans were down like this in a game, it was in Old Dominion 2 years ago. Melvin deflects the pass at half court from Council. Council recovers, but it's a 10-second violation. Excellent job by Melvin, who's still kind of hobbling around. I think he landed really hard on his left hip when he drew that foul. So VSU gets a 10-count turnover. Inbound to Granberry. Out to Wright. He holds the ball between the circles. Wright works a left-handed dribble off a Granberry screen. Rahama getting his first touch on offense. Rahama left elbow jumper. Spins out, no good. Outstanding rebound by Corum, and he hits the stick back off the glass. That's Corum's first basket. 62-41. Kellum. Council into the front court. Slava playing out near midcourt. Gives the ball to Council, and gives the ball to Connor, and now Shippensburg spreads the floor. They'll eat more clock. Shot clock down to 8. Slava cross-court pass for a Council. 3 out of the right corner, and he buries it. Raekwon Council, 4 points now as he sticks the triple. 65-41. Melvin up top, Rahama. Drives on Council. Rahama to the rack. Floater no good. Rebound grabbed by Costello. And Connor will walk the ball up the floor and drain more precious clock. Especially when you're down by 24. And the clock isn't that precious. Connor between the rings, guarded by Wright. There have been very, very few nights like this the last 4 years for BSU. Slava posted up, backs in, swings it up top for Council. Right corner, Costello for 3. Spins out, no good. Tipped in by Kellum. He has 19 points. 67-41. Last time BSU trailed by this margin was at Old Dominion, November 2016. Granberry driving down the lane, got to the rack and draws a foul. He missed a shot off the glass. Slava the foul, his third. Under different circumstances, that might be better news. Well, Shippensburg pasting Virginia State 67-41, 7:27 to go. Richard Granberry shooting free throws for VSU. I think the last time the Trojans were thumped like this by a Division II opponent, first Granberry free throw is good. They got Embry-Riddle in the 15-16 season in that tournament at Daytona Beach when Embry-Riddle shot 70% for the game. Well, that's when they were transitioning. They were an NAIA program transitioning to the Sunshine State Conference. Granberry hits a pair, 67-43, and that was about an 18-point game. On steal by Corum on the inbound, and James Smith, and he loads it up and in. Trojans still trying to compete now, 67-45. We're going to delay a game warning. And then a foul. We got a technical foul here. Raekwon Council, he got entangled with Ciante Melvin. And are we going to get double twos here or just one? Lonnie Blow walking up the sideline. He's already had enough fun for the evening. The officials looked at the monitor momentarily. Kellum back in. And Owens is going to replace Melvin. So it looks like we got a double T there, which means for Melvin that'll be 4 fouls. And Council's first. 17 for BSU, 6th for Shippensburg. Raiders have the ball out of the timeout. And it's Clay Connor into the front court, and it was a double T. McCarthur with the ball between the circles. Left side for Connor between the rings. Again, patient sets here for Shippensburg. Just trying to run this thing down and start thinking about Tuesday. McCarthur driving. Kicks it off right side. It's off the hands of Kellum, who tried to save it as the shot clock ran out. Play continues as Corum came up with that attempt at a save. Owens driving baseline left. Pull up 10-footer off the iron. Twice no good. Deflected rebound. Granberry stick back is good. Well, Granberry going out hard. He has 14, 67-47, 6:29 remaining. Connor into the front court. He's doubled. Almost threw it away. Granberry got a hand on it. Well, it's recovered by Span. Out to Connor between the rings. And we get a whistle and a foul. Smith knocked the ball loose, but picks up a foul in the process. His second, team's 8. So it's bonus free throw time for Shippensburg. And they will shoot 1 and 1. Clay Connor, 5 points, 81% foul shooter. First free throw, front iron no good, deflected rebound, and Connor comes away with it between the circles. It's been that kind of night for Virginia State. Folks starting to head for the exits here now. Connor dribbling beyond the arc. Left side, McCarthur. He looks inside, shovels it back out to Kellum. Lob it inside Slava. Granberry was hanging all over him, and Slava draws a foul. That's 3 on Granberry. 9th team. 67-47, 5:56 to go. Last time the Trojans lost by 20 plus to a Division II team. It was Lonnie Blowe's first year. First shot good by Slava. He has 15 points now. And that was the day they brought 8 players to Fayetteville State. Second shot is good. Back in the 14-15 campaign, Granbury trying to bull his way to the basket, fouled on the floor. And that one's on Slava. That's his fourth. And the Trojans will shoot free throws now. 5:49 to go. Trailing 69-47. Slava goes to the bench. He's done all he needs to and then some. 15 points, 14 rebounds. Granbury's first shot hard off the back iron, and Kellum comes down with the rebound. Up the floor for McCarthur. He's in the Trojan Head logo at midcourt. Shovels the ball to Connor. Connor starts to drive with the left hand. Back to McCarthur. Nice job by Shippensburg to burn clock here. And McCarthur driving down the lane, took a runner, knocked away by Granbury. Loose ball grabbed by Trey Brown all the way to the rack, and he rolls it up and in. First, second half bucket for Brown. He has 7, 69-49. Well, Brown deflecting the ball away on the sideline, near sideline, out of bounds as he battled McCarthur, and Shippensburg keeps the possession. Trojan fans offering some differing opinions. Connor inbounds to Costello. And more opportunity here for Shippensburg to shorten the game. Lonnie Blowe's worst home loss ever. Drive to the rack by Connor is swatted away by Wayman Wright, who picks up a foul. It's Wright's first. 10 teams, a double bonus the rest of the way for Shippensburg. Lonnie Blowe's 5 years at VSU. This will be, unless the Trojans make a substantial run, by a wide margin, their worst home loss. First shot good by Connor. Where Shippensburg pasted West Liberty by 32 last night. And maybe they're peaking at just the right time. Connor's second shot is perfect. 71-49. Wayman Wright into the front court. Trey Brown. Granbury posted up. Driving on Span, and he draws a blocking foul. Span's second. That's 9 team on Shippensburg. Granbury back to the stripe. 4:53 to go. 71-49. We got to go back a ways. Maybe to George White for the last time that VSU took a pounding like this at home. First shot's good for non-VSU fans joining us. George White had a difficult year and a half stint as VSU head coach. Granbury hitting his first free throw, 15 points now, 71-50. Second shot's good. So Granbury 2 from the stripe, 20-point game, 4:53 to go. Connor in backcourt. VSU's previous worst home loss at the MPC by 10 to Bowie State. McCarthur between the circles, Connor. Owens out to defend. And again, Connor going to dribble time away. Shippensburg making sure that there won't be time for any sort of miraculous run. Left elbow off balance jumper. McCarthur off the iron, no good. But an offensive rebound by Span. Lobs it back out to McCarthur, and Shippensburg can drain more time off the clock. McCarthur with 4:15 to play, and the Raiders up 20. McCarthur in the Trojan Head logo in midcourt. Off a double screen, takes a three. It rolls off, no good. And Trey Brown up for the rebound. Trojans hurrying. Brown driving down the lane, got to the rack, scores the layup. 9 for Brown. 71-53. Wright deflects the inbound, stolen by Williams. Brown left side, three, bingo! And a little bit of life. And Chris Fight wants a timeout. Well, as the old country song goes, long way to go, short time to get there. Wayman Wright. So the sitting theory didn't completely hold, but Shippensburg does come back with their starting 5. VSU going to press all over the floor. They don't have time for anything else. Slava gets the ball inbounds to McCarthur. Starts it up the floor against Trey Brown. McCarthur gets it across the stripe. Gives to Connor. He's guarded by Owens. Connor trying to dribble time away. Slava tumbled. There was no whistle. McCarthur out to Slava, 9 shot clock. Slava backs in on Granberry and travel. Excellent defense by Granberry. He's played well tonight. Slava putting up all-American numbers, but Richard Granberry doing what a human can do. And now Shippensburg playing a little offense-defense, trying to preserve Slava, and they'll get Spann back in. VSU has a chance with a 3 here. They can cut it to a dozen. Smith running the ball, roll up the floor to save time. Now picks it up, goes to work to Owens. Into Granberry, backs in on Spann. Picks it out to Walter Williams and didn't catch it. Just hit him. And unfortunately, it's not electric football. And Costello with an easy steal. Connor up the floor for McCarthur. Kellum between the rings. Starts to drive on Brown off a screen from Spann. The floater by Kellum off the iron, no good. And Granberry rips the rebound away from Spann. It's a held ball. Arrow points to VSU. Trojans have to cash in every possession now to make this moderately entertaining down the stretch. Down 71-56 as the clock rolls inside 3 minutes to play. James Smith, Walter Williams. Williams driving, feeds Granberry right baseline. He backs away with a dribble. Out to Smith. Trojans can't dally. Smith trying to clear out a side. Smith got inside, little jumper short. Rebound tipped by Costello, who controls for Shippensburg, and that might have been it right there. Connor into the front court. 2:35 to play. Connor going to drain shot clock against James Smith, with Shippensburg up by 15. Inside 2.5 to go. Shot clock at 10. Connor still doing business. Draws the foul from James Smith. Smith's third. Trojans over the limit, so 2 shots here for Shippensburg with 2:24 to play. And they're up 71-56. Looks like an all-PZAC East Atlantic Region final here Tuesday night. First shot's good. Wayman right in. James Smith out. Clay Connor now with 8 points. His second shot is good. So Connor knocks down a pair from the stripe and pushes the lead back to 73-56, 2:20 to go. Williams into Granberry, backs in on Spann, out to Owens, left side 3. Spins out, no good, and the rebound grabbed by Spann with 2:10 to go. Kellum up the floor against Brown. Kellum showing some handles, dribbling behind the back near sideline. Kellum lost Brown, now shovels it around to Costello. Out to Connor, 10 shot clock. Connor against Wright. Connor off a high screen, lost the ball, tried to save it on the baseline, and it's out of bounds to Virginia State. But by the time the dribbling exhibition ended, the clock rolled down to 1:46, and VSU's down by 17. Wayman Wright into the front court. Right side Trey Brown cranks up a 3. Off the iron, no good. Trojans have just not been good out there tonight. Kellum comes away with a rebound. Minute 30 to go. Kellum into the front court against Brown. High screen Spann gives Kellum a little more space. He dribbles left side. Brown still trying to work hard on D. Kellum has dwindled the shot clock down to 10. Now he forces up. I guess that was an attempt at a 3. It's nowhere close. And Walter Williams comes down with a rebound. Catch and shoot left side 3. Wayman right back iron, no good. Rebound grabbed by Spann with 1:05 to go. Trojans a little opportunity, just couldn't get one to go. Connor between the rings. Trojans were great out in three-point country last night. Not good tonight. Inside a minute remaining. Shippensburg will advance. Connor guarded by Wright, far sideline. Connor dribbles to the foul line, backs away, 10 shot clock. Connor working hard, man. He's earning his lunch now, and he's fouled on a reach-in by Wayman Wright with 42 seconds left. And folks starting to make their way to the exits. Wayman Wright's second foul. 42.5 to go. Connor gets a chance to push into double figures now, and his first free throw is good. So he has 10. James Smith in, and Wayman Wright goes out. The senior getting congratulations from the coaching staff as his career concludes. Lonnie Blow going to get the rest of the seniors out. Rahama in for Trey Brown. Brown, 2-year Trojan, transfer to North Carolina A&T. And now Shippensburg going to start to clear their bench. Lamar Talley had a little run last night. He's going to pop into the game here, replace Kellum, who got him going in the first half with 13 points. Vetter will replace Granberry momentarily, getting the two-time all-conference player one more hand. Second shot good by Connor. And here comes Vetter for Granberry, as Richard Granberry's VSU career concludes. A strong game tonight, 16 points. Lonnie Blow congratulating him. Daylon Carter in now. Council going to replace Costello, who played well tonight. Jake Biss back into the game, replacing Connor, who really worked hard to drain the clock down. 3 from Walter Williams straight away. Back iron, no good. Rahama, the offensive rebound. His 10-foot stick back is perfect. And the freshman Rahama with his first basket. Clock stops. Well, they were trying to get subs on, if that was a delay game and the ball got away. But the clock stopped with 33 seconds left. 75-58 Shippensburg. Trojans about to suffer their largest home loss. They've only been a couple here at the MPC. A great effort on the inbound by Phillip Owens, knocking the ball away from Council. It's out of bounds back to Shippensburg. Owens almost slid all the way through the tunnel to the dressing room. Now, one of the officials talking to the scorer's table. I'm not sure why you'd have this conversation now. No point in delaying it. They're looking at the clock. I don't think anybody's interested in having time added back on. They just took 7/10 of a second off. You know what? We'd have been out of here quicker if they just let the 7/10 roll. Talley in backcourt. Fires it up the floor for Span. About a 4-second game clock, shot clock differential, so the Trojans should get one more touch. But Biss going to dribble it down for a while. Jake Biss doing work between the circles. Guarded by Smith. Shot clock down to 13. Biss driving, dish it off inside Span. Joe Hook is good. And Manny Span gets on the score sheet with 10 seconds left. Smith a behind the back dribble. Ball knocked away by Carter out of bounds. Right, trying to save it. And it's chased down. Owens fires it underneath for Smith, but the clock runs out before he can shoot. Nice hustle by Van to keep up possession, by William Vetter to keep that possession alive. But we are done. The season over for Virginia State.